always go home. LUNCE'S List to find. LUNCE'S List to find. LUNCE'S List to find. LUNCE'S List to find.
John, yesterday we released our latest retro trailer reaction focused on Kindergarten Cop, inspiring today's list, laying out the 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that are your personal favorites. Does Arnold rank in your top, I don't know, 20 actors?
No.
No? Top 50?
Probably not.
Okay.
I'm looking
This
forward
is
to
going to
this.
be a great list.
Yeah.
That was a bad question by me. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger has an incredible filmography if you can separate it from the artsy-fartsy stuff that you like, John.
He has a good filmography.
I want to
However,
go see Armageddon. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Diverse tastes.
I have to go ahead and apologize. There's a lot of movies that will not appear on this list because I have not seen them. So, Predator, you can go ahead and write off. Haven't seen Predator.
Oh, wow.
Last Action Hero. I think I brought this up in our Kindergarten Cop review. Have not seen that. That is one I actually want to see. I don't care.
Love that Last Action Hero. It's probably my favorite Arnold movie.
Haven't seen a Conan movie. Haven't seen an Expendables movie.
Okay, so let me change this. These are the 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that John Lunsford has seen. There we go.
But I have seen a lot of movies, and obviously it's the most notable thing. I have seen all of those, and I'm sure some of those may make the list. Anyway, let's go on to the
First,
list.
can you go ahead and just spell Schwarzenegger up there for me? Well, I know I couldn't do it, so I can't make fun, but it's one of the hardest names to.
I have typed his name 15 times over the past 2 days.
Could you do it?
No.
Yep.
I couldn't.
Number 5.
Oh, we're going to.
Oh, he's
actually
spelling.
This is great.
I'm not telling you anything. Tim has it. I don't.
I do have it. See how you do.
No, there's a T in
Should
there.
we do like a entertainment
There's a
spelling
T.
competition?
I don't think there's D in there.
There's a T.
I think that's right.
SCHWARZENEGGER.
Oh my God. That's great. I thought it was a T in there.
You don't think he had it written down?
Yeah, he probably did.
He had it written
I'm
down.
literally staring right here. I'm not looking at it.
His Z has a tail.
It's because I almost wrote a T.
Yeah.
This is one of the most depressing Lunce's lists, and we haven't even got to number 5.
Oh.
This is such a personal pick for a very specific reason. I'll let John spill the beans on why.
Stay Hungry is the first movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger is credited as Arnold Schwarzenegger in. It was shot, anybody? Where was
Birmingham.
it? In Birmingham.
Oh.
And there's a very pivotal scene that my dad was in that was shot at. Anybody?
The
Jewish
Brookwood
Community
Mall.
Center.
Huh?
The Jewish Community Center.
No. Birmingham Country Club.
Oh.
Where Rocky frequents a lot.
Yeah.
It was shot at Birmingham Country Club. My dad and my aunt were in it. They were just kind of a couple in the background. My dad had a baby blue tux he wore, kind of stood out in the back. Yeah, it's a sentimental favorite. I've only actually seen the movie a couple of times, and it was a long time ago. But this is definitely my sentimental pick there. It's got Jeff Bridges in it, Sally Field. I guess those are the 3 main people in it. But, yeah, Stay Hungry.
We would love for you to put in your picks into our chat, like Drew, who says, Stay Hungry
There you go.
is actually on my DVD shelf. So technically, Tim Lunsford is on Drew's DVD shelf.
Yeah.
Wow.
Robert Englund's in it.
It's a small world.
Anyway, yeah, so there you go. Stay Hungry. Sentimental pick there, starring Lunsford's.
If it would have been number 1, I would have given you holy hell over it.
I don't really
But
care.
it being number 5, you're fine.
I don't care about the movie, but it has a reason for me to have it as a top 5 Arnold Schwarzenegger movie for me.
Completely fair.
Anyway, moving on.
Number 4 on Lunce's list, best Schwarzenegger movies.
Now, I do have to ask Luntz so we can possibly avoid an argument. Have you seen Terminator 2?
I think you should just wait, Tyler. I think you should be patient.
I'm just
He's
checking.
a big Rise of the Machines guy.
I didn't know he's mentioned Salvation and Dark Fate and all the other ones except for Judgment Day.
We talked about Terminator 2 Judgment Day with Lance, and I have a feeling we'll be seeing that potentially again, even though at number 4,
there it is, Dark Fate.
Dark Fate makes the list.
Which one was that?
Oh, tripped over my chair. The last
That
one.
was the
It's
most
actually-
recent one where they killed John Connor.
It's actually,
Whoa!
it's actually the last movie that Arnold has done.
Linda Hamilton came back for this one.
Linda Hamilton came back for this one.
She's got a cute voice now.
Arnold succeeds in killing John Connor at the beginning, but then once he's basically the whole storyline is once he has done that, he has no purpose anymore. So he just kind of lives his life, becomes self-aware, and lives his life. And then they realize, hey, we still need to send people back because if he's not gonna, John Connor's not going to save the world, other people are. So then they send another one back. I think Diego Luna was the Terminator in this one, or the bad guy in this one. However, Mackenzie Davis was in it, who was also in Blade Runner, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, and she's the main character in San Junipero, which is my favorite Black Mirror episode of all time. So had a decent side cast behind Arnold. The whole thing is they find Arnold because they have to get Arnold to help them stop the new Terminator. So it also completely kills Terminator 3 and Salvation because Genesis was a total reboot. And so it completely, retcon when they completely got rid of those, and it follows Terminator 2.
I actually saw this and I thought it was awful.
That's crazy. Like, seriously.
The list so far is disappointing me in
Yeah,
a couple of
I
different
thought this was
directions.
such a bad
but
movie.
Here's the problem with the Terminator franchise right now. They've lost the public's trust to be able to produce quality films. Each and every time they release a new Terminator movie, they go, guys, we're sorry for that last one. But this one we believe in. Come out and see it. And then 2 years later, guys, that last one that we told you we believed in, it was garbage. And we knew it at the time. We know it now. This one, though, this one's got Linda Hamilton, or this one's got James Cameron behind it, or this one's got... They've lost the public trust. It is time for a hard reboot of the Terminator if they're going to do any more of them anyway. But is this a dead
What's the kind of trying to with
franchise?
Genesis?
Yes.
This is a dead
is.
franchise.
Yes.
It is. They will never make another Terminator movie as long as Arnold Schwarzenegger is alive. I would be willing to bet on that. Because then once he passes away, once James Cameron passes away, then somebody will get it with Universal, whoever has the rights, and do another one.
Genesis was spelled like Genesis, and Terminator Salvation I dug, but they completely abandoned it.
The thing is, I have enjoyed every Terminator movie in some form except for Genesis. Genesis was garbage. I like Emilia Clarke, but it was garbage. But
There's like a ticking time bomb sort of sequence, and they're all just sort of like casually walking to go save the day, and I'm like, do you not know the ticking time bomb sequence? You got to move, people. You got to go.
I didn't hate 3 of the other movies. It's at the bottom for me, but I didn't hate 3. But yeah, it's, I'm not going to spoil the rest of the list, but overall, I have enjoyed the full Terminator timeline that is actually within this timeline, because Genesis is its complete own thing. Even though they retcon 3 and 4 with Dark Fate, I like the full 5-movie timeline.
Okay, can we break a rule here? Are you okay with breaking a rule?
Sure.
Terminators broke all the rules in continuity anyway.
That's right. A lot
If
of rules.
Terminator 2's on this list, go ahead and write up there where it's at right now. And I don't care if it's number 1, number 2, number 3. I don't care. Just fill in that spot. Not directly under Dark Fate unless it's number 3, but like where it would be, because we're on the Terminator conversation, and T2 is number 2? I can't tell. Number 2. Okay, I just feel like we need to encompass all the Terminator conversation here, because I don't think I can drum up the energy to talk about it yet again. This was peak Terminator.
Yep.
Terminator 2. Okay, the first one looked at as sort of more of a suspense, thriller, horror movie almost.
Yeah, it's probably 4th for me.
The second one, action, blockbuster, arguably.
Special effects.
I think you can make the argument best action movie ever made. I think it's in the discussion.
Yeah.
That's,
I was trying to think of
that's how
some other
sad-
stuff that could beat it, but
I don't know if I'd say
Terminator 2.
best of all time, but I will say I watched Mad Max last night, which I feel
Fury
like
Road
has
or
been
the-
considered one of the better action movies ever made.
I didn't like it.
Far from one of the best action movies ever
I
made.
didn't like it.
Which
it
Mad
was
Max
one?
did you watch?
Fury
Fury
Road.
Road.
I
Sorry.
gotcha.
It's a good flick.
It's
I
overrated.
walked in
It is over. The
opening.
cinematography's great. Go ahead.
I walked in opening weekend to Mad Max Fury Road, and I'd heard all this buzz about this is the best action movie ever made. I mean, that's what everybody was saying. And man, I was disappointed. I didn't walk in with like, oh my God, okay, it's got to live up to that expectation. But
Critically, a lot of people still say it's the best action movie ever made. But
people freaking love it. I could not get into it.
the sequences were cool. Cinematography was cool. but there's nothing in me that says, "Oh my God, this is one of the best action movies ever made." However, I'm looking forward to Furiosa.
Let's do a pick your picture real quick. Rockstar.
Yeah.
Are you walking into Theater 1 with Terminator 2 playing, or are you walking into Theater 2 with Mad Max Fury Road playing?
Terminator 2, because it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
I love both.
And you're inspired by Lunce's List.
Oh, yeah.
Now that I've seen Mad Max, I would go into T2. Before I would have gone into that just to see it. But look, I mean, I would rank the Terminators, since obviously I'm done with that now. I rate the Terminators 2, 5, 4, 1, 3. So
It's my pin number.
T2, Dark Fate, Salvation, Original, and then the third one, which I didn't hate, but I would still have it last of the 5. And then Genesis is on another planet somewhere that I don't ever want to talk to ever again.
Which
That
one was
movie
Christian
is
Bale in?
unwatchable.
Salvation.
Yeah.
Salvation was pretty good. I mean, that's why it's third for me. It's pretty good. I like Dark Fate, and a lot of it had to do with Mackenzie Davis being in it, but Christian Bale, Sam Worthington, who sneakily has probably one of the highest grossing careers because of Avatar, being the main character in Avatar. But anyway, yeah, I like all three of those.
Okay, let's go to number 3. Doing this a little bit non-linear, but that's okay because we had to get the Terminator out of our system there. Number 3, will this be one of the Schwarzenegger comedies?
You know what word I have harder time spelling than
Kindergarten. Number 3 is actually going to be, for John Lunsford, Kindergarten Cop. And I have no problem.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no space between it and Cop. But
Yeah.
Kindergarten Cop. But this movie still holds up.
Yep.
Still got a million different genres associated with it. We did a full retro trailer reaction on this. I highly recommend you check it out. It's something that I'm really proud that we all watched and discussed. John, tell me why it makes the number 3 spot.
Yeah, we did do I literally wrote, we did a whole video on this. You should go check out our retro review for why we like this movie so much. But it is the only comedy that appears on this list. I'll go back to action for number 1. He doesn't necessarily do it for me in comedy, but that movie, the thing I dislike is when it's not comedic, when the beginning and end, when it gets to more of an action, him chasing Chris at the beginning and then the shootout at the end. It just, that part doesn't really do it for me. But the middle is good. He does good. It's the best one of those where, like, take Action Person and put him in a Ha Ha Kids movie. Every other one has been awful, but this one was good. But it's like, well, Kindergarten Cop it's going to work with The Rock and Vin Diesel and all these other people, right? No.
You're talking about basically the babysitter movies.
Correct.
That subgenre.
Correct.
And because I don't want to ruin number 1 if it's even possible, but like Jingle All the Way.
Not Jingle All the Way.
Okay, I assume it's not, but
Total
Jingle
Bummer.
All the Way is fantastic.
Jingle All the Way's all right.
Jingle All the
It's
Way.
all right.
Never saw it.
Is number 1 a comedy?
No.
Okay. I also love Twins. Okay.
Can I
Twins
give
is
mine
great.
real quick?
Go ahead.
Total Recall.
Total Recall's okay.
This isn't your list.
I think what hurt me with Total Recall is I watched the new one first and then said I gotta go back and watch
hated the new
the original, and it already kind of was ruined by that point.
Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, Terminator 2, Twins, Predator.
Predator needs to be in there. I'm struggling with what to include. Kindergarten Cop's on my list. I think Jingle All the Way's on my list, and I know that that's a guilty pleasure, but that hit me at the right time, and I still watch it almost every Christmas season, and it still works for me. And Last Action Hero is still my guilty pleasure number 1 Schwarzenegger movie because it got so beat up at the box office by Jurassic Park, launching in that same time span. I believe it launched the week after Jurassic Park, and it got literally eaten alive. And I thought it was the most ambitious of all of the Schwarzenegger movies that I've seen. It was the most ambitious to try to tell a story that I think if John and I had walked in that theater in 1993 to go see that movie, he would have loved it, and I would have loved it, and we would have said, oh my gosh, this is the movie that people should be talking about right now. And nobody talked about that movie. It's gotten more love. It's a cult classic as it's kind of gone along, but it was supposed to be this huge hit for him, and it was not him playing the role of Jack Slater in that film. Tremendous soundtrack as well. AC/DC.
AC/DC did big time.
I
Big Gun.
love that Charles Dance plays the main bad guy in there, but they also have the Ripper and all these different characters, and I would love to see that story continued, whether it be a graphic novel or something involving Jack Slater. And I hope, John, at some point you'll watch Last Action Hero and tell me your honest thoughts.
I will. Arnold's just not the kind of person I'm rushing out to see anything that he has done. I mean, I know Terminator is the iconic thing on top of, I know Conan the Barbarian, all that's iconic and all for
Red
him.
Sonja.
I just don't care, really, honestly.
Has yours been mentioned in the chat yet?
I don't think so. Mine, do you know what my number one is?
True Lies.
I feel like I've said it a lot, but
Can't be Junior. If it's Junior,
It's not Junior.
It's
That's
not Batman and Robin.
Around
Can't
the
be
World in
Batman
80
and Robin.
Days.
sure as hell ain't Batman and Robin.
You need to chill out.
I'll give a clue, see if y'all can figure it out.
Oh, I know.
What's
I
the
know.
clue?
It's got a number in it. The Sixth Day. Yes. I knew that's what you were going to choose. Underrated.
You really picked The Sixth Day?
Underrated, but it's not. It should never be on anybody's number one best Arnold movie list.
So this is bookended. Stay Hungry and Sixth Day.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's why it's Lunce's List. It's unique. It's
Yeah.
a unique perspective. When else would we be talking about The Sixth Day on this show if it wasn't for Lunce's List?
Why is this number one?
This is just a movie. It's the time and place that I watched the movie. I love the XFL inclusion in it because the whole thing is a guy gets tackled, breaks his neck in the XFL, and then he's perfectly fine to play the next week because it's a clone. Surprise, surprise! I just spoiled the movie. But it's about cloning. This came out. Too early for the place and time we were with CGI and movies. I think
This was one of his last ones before he became governor, I would imagine.
it was 2000 was when it came
Yeah.
out. I don't remember when exactly he became governor, but
I want to say it was like 2004 when
Yeah.
he became governor or
Yeah.
something like that.
But the thing is, what kills me about the XFL is the XFL was there, like, hey, this is going to be a thing moving forward, and it literally died. But guess what? The XFL came back, was here for a couple of years. It's still kind of sort of around with the UFL, and then the player. I went back and watched the scene, and the player has like a heads-up display in his helmet that's like calling the play, and then yells that a blitz is coming. And guess what we have after this past season? We have heads-up displays and helmets now. So like, hey, the Sixth Day is becoming true. So guess what? Clones are right around the corner for all of us. We can just go buy one down and buy a clone of our pet and all that kind of stuff down. I think they called it Repet, that you can go down and buy a clone of your pet. Michael Rappaport was Arnold Schwarzenegger's best friend in it, which
He's having a heck of a week.
we just talked about him in Fallout being one of the characters in that. So there's a lot going with this movie. Michael Rooker's in the movie as well.
I like it. I do. It should not be on a top 5 list.
It's my, once again, I just named like,
Have you seen
like-
True Lies?
I've seen True Lies.
Okay.
It's okay. I just named a bunch of movies that I know would be on a lot of other people's lists that I have not seen of Arnold's, but
Running Man.
Yeah, have you seen Running Man?
I've not seen Running Man.
Oh.
But no, this is just kind of time and place. I was 13 when it came out, and so it's like the technology of it all was cool to me. It was just a time and place kind of movie for me. And of course, I literally have a Birmingham Bolts helmet from the original XFL that I bought back then because I was obsessed with the XFL when it first came out. So there's just a lot of things that are going with the Sixth Day for me.
Let's go to the list here. Once again, we are looking for your top Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, preferably 5 of them.
It's also Terry Cruz's acting debut, by the way.
Oh, okay. You didn't say that.
we have Drew, who has Running Man. I don't know if these are in any particular order. Running Man, Total Recall, Kindergarten Cop, T2, Jingle All the Way. I like this list.
Good
I
list.
do, especially Kindergarten Cop, T2, Jingle All the Way being definites on there. We have Steven, who says number 5, Twins, number 4, Running Man, number 3, Total Recall, number 2, Predator, number 1, T2. I don't feel like an Arnold list without Predator on it is complete, but like you've said, not really your genre, even though you could make
I haven't even seen it, so I mean, I can't put it on the list.
make the argument it's sci-fi, which obviously you lean into with the Sixth Day and
You can with
T2.
Alien too,
That's
but
crazy.
I haven't
Did
seen
you-
Alien either.
Did you see Prey?
I have not seen Prey. My wife has begged me to watch it
That's a
because
good
she
movie.
loved it, but no.
Predator is back, and I believe Alien after Alien Romulus, I keep wanting to call it Covenant,
So do I.
comes out in August. I think Alien will be back.
It's no Prometheus.
Nope.
Let's see. We have Drew, who says Twins, Commando, and Predator were hard to leave off for me.
Commando. Forgot about Commando.
Sure.
A lot of people saying this list is tougher than they thought. You have James, who has some love for The Pacifier, saying it's underrated. Not Arnold, but still. And let's see. You have Blake, who says Last Action Hero was great. So I know I would get roasted alive for having Last Action Hero #1. You're going to get roasted alive for having The Sixth Day #1. But I think it goes to show how strong the filmography is that you can pick some diamonds in the rough, put them on your list, and really feel passionately that you're right.
Get roasted for them.
Get roasted for it. So
Welcome to Lunce's List, everybody.
there we have it. That is Lunce's list of his 5 favorite Schwarzenegger movies. And I promise you this, that is the only list that's going to look like that in all of humanity that's going to have those 5 movies on it.
I'll also say one movie that never got mentioned by anybody but gave me nightmares for weeks was End of Days.
End
It
of
came
Days.
out right before the 6th day. So yeah, that was traumatizing for
The
me.
devil.
I think that they get pretty confused there. I'm trying to think if there was a Schwarzenegger movie I just absolutely hated, something that I despised. I was never really big
Batman
into the
and Robin?
Expendables series. Oh, yeah.
Eraser.
I erased Batman and Robin. That was my thing that I did there. But